started to work more into forestry
That's
as
right.
a consultant, and up to a point where you decided to create the Tropical Forest Trust at the time, which became the Forest Trust afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. No, well, because of my experience in Vietnam, I had been able to go quite a lot through the country. And when I left there, I got called back on a number of occasions to be a consultant. And one of those times was in end of 1995.
Mm-hmm.
And when B&Q, which is a very large UK retailer, they were getting garden furniture from Vietnam. And they wanted, and FSC, the Forest Stewardship Council certification, had just really got going, and they wanted to be the first to bring FSC certified furniture to the market. And I knew one of the guys who was working for SGS, the audit company, from my time when I'd studied in England for a year. And he called me up. He said, "Well, you know Vietnam. We need a forestry expert to come and be, the technical leader. Well, not the leader, but the technical person on our audit." I'm like, "Oh, that'd be great. Where are you going?" "Oh, Ma Da Forest Enterprise." I'm like, "Well, I've been to Ma Da Forest Enterprise and there's no trees there."
Mm-hmm.
"What do you mean?" I said, "Well, it all got sprayed by Agent Orange during the war. So all of the big forest trees were gone, and not to mention the bombing and everything that happened there, because the North Vietnamese army used to come through that area." Of course, we went there, and of course what was happening was the garden furniture factory in Saigon was getting its wood from Ma Da Forest Enterprise,
Mm-hmm.
but there was a sawmill there. And so what was happening was the logs were being, and we went to the sawmill, and here were these beautiful, massive logs that were being shipped is the wrong word, barged. They were put on barges in Cambodia and brought down the rivers and canals to Ma Da Forest Enterprise. So all of this wood was coming from Cambodia. And this was the end of 1995, and of course, at that stage, the army was, the Cambodian army was doing a lot of the logging without any sort of forest management whatsoever. And the Khmer Rouge was still active, and they were funding their
Operations.
small level insurgency, I would call it, through this illegal forestry. And it hadn't been long before that they'd beheaded some British tourists. So it was a bit of a nervous breakdown moment for them, and they said, "Right, okay, well, we've got to cancel all the orders." And I'm like, "Well, hold on. There's 2,000 people working in that factory in Ho Chi Minh City. You're about 80% of their business. What's going to happen if you just cancel your orders?" Look, there's other forests in Vietnam that aren't badly managed. They're not certified, but they could become certified if we got in there and gave them some support. "So why don't you get your logs from there?" Like, "Well, we never thought about that." So, okay, let's talk to the furniture factory and see if we can find a forest enterprise in Vietnam, not Ma Da, because there were trees in Ma Da, but they were tiny little things like this.
Can't make furniture.
Can't make furniture out of that. So, but there were forests in the Central Highlands, and so this became, what I would call the TFT model, which was build a supply chain from the retailer at one end through to the supplying factory out to the raw material source. Keep it secure, make it secure so that other logs and timber can't come in. But then work on the forest source to help it get better managed, give it some technical assistance. So we could get it certified in the future. So it was about, and I think at that stage, in the whole of Asia, there was one forest certified in Malaysia. So there just wasn't enough wood to meet the demand of the garden furniture industry. And I would say I had ambition to take the TFT global, but of course at that stage it was just about proving the model.